All for one and one for all. Ah, shut up and get out from my lawn.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
So, first of all, thanks for having me here. So, this is actually my first time in Sabah, so quite excited. Okay, so before I start, so may I know like who of you how many of you is actually interested in creating your first game? That's a lot of you. Cool. So today's presentation is actually about like what if you want to create a game and you have no experience in it, or either like you are not interested in making games, but you can also learn about the process and how it works as well. So, but it's more helpful if you actually want to start a game. Okay, so this will be the topic or the section. There'll be two sections. So there's this like before lunch, which is this morning. Then after that, there's another hour. So first I will be actually sharing with you about first is about Earth's Kurechii, what we have gone through, and I think it's very important because like it's very dangerous for you to just take it someone input like well it makes it sounds like making games very easy, or like making games can be like how is it very convenient, or like you can get access to a lot of things very easily. But so the reason why I'm sharing the experience is because like to help you to understand the perspective or the things that we've gone through, so that you can actually analyze it yourself. How is it relevant to you? How is it going to be useful? Which part of the experience actually that you have that you share? What are the things that you don't, and maybe you want to avoid, or like use a different way to approach it. So this is the reason why I'm going to share through it. So what we have done, whether it's success or not, whether it failed, so you know the angle that we are coming in, because like I'm sure that whatever we have gone through might not be the same for you, because like we might have certain access to certain things that you might not have, and you might have certain access that we don't have. Okay, so that's very important in that particular sense. Then after that, we'll go to the first part, the business part, which is like a part that a lot of people, especially people who like to work on games, they don't care about business. They just want to make games, right? Who care about business? But it's very important if you want to convert it into a sustainable model where you can keep the team growing and make them better and bigger games. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the factors, like what is the important things that you need to consider, and those are very important one. And another hot topic is actually we're always curious, how do we price the games? Like it's a virtual thing, it's very abstract. Like how do you justify it's 10 ringgit? How is it like 20? Like how am I make sure that if I price it at this price, I can still make enough money to survive or like even thrive as a company? So some formula that I come up with, so it's not like a valid one, but it's more from my perspective, and you can take it as reference. And after that, we'll go into the team. Team is actually basically making games. Usually, you can solo it, no problem. But most of the time, we are working a team because there's a lot of aspect, the audio, visual, story, and so on. Like, there's so many things of it. We usually work as a team. So, and I'll be sharing with you how to actually work as a team to complete the game, and how do you utilize everyone's strength to make sure that the game that you're making can be unique. And later after the day is will be more towards the game design. So how do you make decisions when it comes to game design? So you're going to make decisions whether like should I use this character or this character? So like my main character is the hair is going to be red or blue. How do you make decisions? Do you go for votes? Do you decide based on flip a coin or what? Like okay, I'm going to share with you like how you can do that, and then and also the workflow. So how do you actually work across different disciplines, and how do you make sure that you choose the better workflow so that you can actually more efficient in the way that when you're being more efficient, you do more things, less cost as well. And the last one is actually a little bit about the marketing. So it's always people always say, how do I market a game? But that is not really our expert. I will share with you what is the important things that you need to consider, and what are the common mistakes that we usually have when trying to market a game. Okay, everyone ready?
Yes.
So in between, I will shuffle in a bit of like activity that I need you to actually write down. Like you're gonna create a games, right? So I need you to write down some platform that you plan to put in it and all that. So I will guide you through all that as well as we go on. So let's start. So my name is Yiwei. So in Kurechii, everyone's actually have a red RPG role that we're trying to put in it. So my role is actually I'm more like a supporter role. So I'm an enchanter. So I no longer go and fight up front. I'm not a tank anymore. I'm not a DPS. I am a support. So basically I enhance. So why do I call myself an enchanter? Because I make people perform better. So I plan, I make sure the artists work better. I make sure the programmers can actually integrate things carefully, and then bring out what we're trying to bring. But in the role itself, I run the company. At the same time, I design the game as well. So these are two of the main things that my role in the team. So let's start. So our team actually started back in 2009. So this is our very first game called Reaching Pigeon. So Reaching Pigeon is actually there's this IPCC from MDEC. I think this is the second or third year they are running. And I actually after I graduate, I actually joined this one together two of my classmates for this game called Reaching Pigeon. So it's a flash game. So back then flash game was quite popular, but it still exists nowadays, but it's not no longer because of the mobile game. But this is our first game, and we took the grant. We pitched, we won the grant, 50,000 grant from AMDEC. We took the money and then we finished this game called Reaching Pigeon in 8 months. And it's actually, this game is actually published by Kings. So Kings is actually the publishers for Candy Crush. So I'm sure a lot of you know what Candy Crush is, but back then they actually operate called Kings.com that let a lot of players go there to play a lot of flash games. So this is actually, I finished the game, I tried to write a very lousy email trying to pitch and all that, but we managed to communicate, and then that's how we get the first deal. So this is Reaching Pigeon. So this is actually where back then it's a 8 months project, team of 3. So there's one designer, which is me, and I do the programming as well. And then we have one artist, and one more is a writer and content designer. So we have 3 of us actually trying to work on this game. So I would call this game a success because we have no knowledge at all, like what game is about, how to sell it and all that. So just read go around, see what is the viable options that we can make money out of it. So you go through the licensing model. So licensing model is actually where we complete the games, and then we reach out to company like Kings and all that, where they actually put their branding. So when the game starts, their logo pops, and then there's button in the games where you can click like more games. You can go to kings.com to play more games. So this is back then. There's this licensing model, and we have about 500,000 players playing these games, and back then we also have the games on Facebook as well. So yeah, to us it's actually like we start a Steam, we have a game, so we put it out, a lot of players, like to us 500,000 players, there's a lot of players that actually play the game. We are quite happy with it. And while we are doing at this thing, we're actually doing it part-time. So basically we have a day job. So at night, then we actually spend, there's some interesting story where during the weekend, because we have no workspace, 3 of us actually go to one cafe. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner over there. So basically it's like, we just sit there and then the staff will look at us like, why are we like not going to move and all that. So and because of that, we have to, every weekend we have to shift to different cafe so that they don't put our picture there and then don't allow us to enter. So that's in 2009. So after that, after have a taste of like what making a game is like I really wanted to do more, and I realized that having a day job and I couldn't be consistently perform at night, because at night sometimes you're very tired because of the day job. Sometimes you need to OT and so on, right? So and when you want to do more, you kind of have a limitation. So that is the time that I need to take a leap, because when I search around in Malaysia back then, there's no game development company that actually makes its own game. So there's a lot of outsourcing company, but don't really have options where I can get to join a company that actually get to develop the game from the start to the end. So that's where I decided to start Kurechii, because like if there's no such space, maybe I can create one. But that intention is very pure, and I have a very naive concept where, yeah, I remember, because back then I was studying multimedia, so we get to do a lot of projects. So per semester is 3 months, and then within that semester we have a lot of subjects, right? And then one of the subject is to make a mini games. And then I was thinking, like if during the college time I can complete a mini game in 3 months along with other subjects, if I do it full time, maybe I can complete a game every single month. So sounds like a brilliant idea. And then if one game can make about 5,000, and then I can make 12 in 12 months, and it was like skim cepat kaya lah. So suddenly like seems like a lot of money, and then I try to execute this plan. So the idea is I quit my day job, and then I start to work on this King's Lake, and then I actually complete the game in 1 month, and my friend finished the game in 10 minutes. Okay, and my game is so short, and then along with it, it gave me a lot of bugs and feedbacks and all that. And I'm like, shit, like this is not going to work, right? The game is not, the content itself is not enough. It's simply just not fun enough. So I decided to screw that skim cepat kaya. So I just continued to work on the game, and I spent about like 8 months alone on this game, and then having the feeling like this is not fun at all. Like I don't want to look at this game anymore. I just want to let it out and all that. But I'm glad that I actually I call it a success because I'm glad I actually complete the game, and I publish it. And when I publish it, right, there's a lot of players actually they like it, where I don't like it anymore because I've been playing, testing it all day long. I think this game is like, no, I don't want to play it anymore. But players like it because they never played before, and you never know until you put it out. So I'm glad I did. And the game actually have within the first month actually we get more than close to 1 million players, and then up to date is actually we have about 3 million players for this game alone, the very first King's League. So again, we go through the same path where we go through the licensing, trying to replicate what we have learned. Of course, because this is the second one, the revenue itself might not be on par because we are experimenting on things and all that. 8 months itself is way longer than previous one. This one is not funded, basically using what we have generated from this one, and this is just solo projects. And to me, actually, when I work on this game, I actually no longer care about the revenue, and I just trying to do it. So it's fun. So once I have this game put it out, a lot of players, millions of players have this one, I start to gain confidence. I think, yes, we're going to make it. I'm trying to convince my teammate, the previous teammate from Richie Pitchin, to join me as full-time to work on this game. But the answer is no. Because making game itself is just like, to our parents back then, it's like, what make games? You play games, is it? Like, to them, it's actually play games, and it's not a career option. It's like they never heard of someone making games before, and actually object that decisions alone. But as I continue to convince another and get some of them happy to do on part-time and so on. So this is where we actually go through and get to work on this called Digana in 2012. So 2012 is actually the years that iPhones start to get popular. So there are more and more people start to make mobile games, and this is where we're trying to make our first mobile game as well. So we are all excited. Yeah, we know how to make games already. We have games that have million players, and we are all cool. So using that, I managed to convince artists to actually work on the art itself. I don't have to work on the art anymore, or someone to work on the animations, and this is how we work on it. But there's nothing like what we imagined. So we failed. So for this game itself, we spent 12 months. It's a team of 4. We complete and publish it, but we only have 100 plus players. Like from what we have, like 1 million players, is that like this is going to be the same, and we fail. So there's a lot of reasons we feel like back then this game is paid game where you need to pay to download the games, and we literally earn about like 100 or 200 US dollar for this game lifetime until today. So spending 12 months on this one with 4 person, so you spend close to maybe 100,000 ringgit on these projects, and then you fail. And so there's no guarantee like now you have experience, you have a team, you know how to work on a game, and you will success. So this game failed particularly for many reasons. First is actually this is a mobile game. It's unlike Flash games that it's totally different thing. While we thought that it's the same, it's a game. But the platform itself is very different. The technology we use a Flash, but it's for mobile. The performance was bad, and so on. So there's a lot of reason add up to that. So this is a harsh reality that we realize that every platform is very unique on its own. So you cannot lump them as one and then think that it's just the same and you're going to do it the same. So everything you need to study what unique about that platform and how do you actually thrive on that. So we move on from there. So we still luckily we save the money. We never just spend and then we're successful. We buy a lot of good computers and all that. We actually keep it very tight, and then we still have a little bit left, and then we was thinking like, when we try to do something that we are not good at it and we fail, like why not we go back to do what we are good at and then re-attempt to go back to mobile when we are ready. So we go on to this game called King's League Odyssey. So we go back to Flash, we make this game, and it seems to work out. So basically we are good at Flash, we are good at mobile games, and after that we actually port it to mobile as well. So when we work on the game itself, we know that I'm going to program it, but I'm not the real programmer because I never studied computer science and all that. So it was thinking like when we design a game, we have the mobile considerations, the inputs, the performance and all that, but we don't program for that. And then when we finish the game, we put it out, then only we find a real programmer to join in and to actually convert it into mobile. So that was our plan back then, because in our team, we don't have programmers. So like I said, because your background might be different, your team might have programmer in the first place, then the way that you approach the game might be very different. For our team, we have artists, but we don't have the real programmers. So this is the difference. So the game works out quite well. We won the best game in IGF China, best mobile game in Can You Connect Asia, top app when put it out on iOS at that time. So in many countries, top one strategy games and simulation games in multiple countries as well. So this is one of the glorious moments that I had. So it's actually like winning independent game festival as best game, right? So where we're actually competing with games like from Japan, where they have the games of PlayStations, PS4, and so on, across the Asia. So this is something that we're very, very proud of it. So let's go back to see like what's the process like. So first of all, is actually this game is fully self-funded, so we really, really need to be careful on how we're going to spend it. We spent 12 months for the Flash game, so it's actually a very, very long time to just to develop the Flash games. And then we spent another 10 months just to port the game, because sometimes people think porting can be very quick, like oh just port Lima, just maybe export and then you get the iOS version. Why is it 10 months partially? Because we do not have experience. Just to make sure the file size is getting smaller and it loads faster on mobile phone, we spend like 3 months. It's not even making a game, just to make the file size smaller and it loads faster. Because you do not want every single battle, after you finish a battle, you need to wait for 12 seconds. As a player, do you want to wait that? You close the game already, right? Uninstall it, right? Give you a 1 star and then uninstall it, right? You don't want to see it anymore. So we know it's a problem. So we don't just release it, we actually optimize it, cut it down to 3 seconds and all that, but we spend months working on that. So sometimes working on game is not just games. You need to solve problems. So two process, we have Flash games, we have mobile versions, it's a team of 5 people, and then so like the designers work on design, we have programmers work on programs and so on. So it's a award-winning game. Up to date, this game alone have over 10 million players, and this is one of the very popular titles for Kurechii. And as a freemium title on web browser, where we go back to the licensing model, we put in advertising, where you distribute, and then people can click on the links, watch advertisement, and other get revenue from that. And for the mobile version, it's actually a paid app where it's a $2 with in-app purchases where you can buy skins and all that. And for the mobile version, we also work with publishers, where actually when we go events, we meet publishers, and because we are new to mobile, we failed once. We think it's good that actually we work with one publishers and learn how they actually do it. So this is the reason why we are working with publishers. Because a lot of people sometimes was, is it better that I self-publish it, or is it better that I actually work with programmers? Work with publishers. So for that time, is actually we think that we do not have experience, we simply do not know how to do it. So that's why we choose to work with one. So that's our reason. It's not because maybe that can make more money and all that. So, and we are given the opportunity, we work with one. So yeah, then that yes, now we have like mobile game, award winning and all that. We think we are good again. So let's work on the next game. So like we know the assets is important, the animation is important, the performance is important and all that. So we create this game called Chikiduo. So let me share with you like a video. So Chikiduo is actually a point and click game where we think that like we are good at visual. Our team is good at visual. And this one is actually our first time to challenge very detailed hand-drawn animations. There's one interesting things about this game is actually all these illustrations actually draw using mouse. It's not using tablet or that artist like crazy use mouse to draw everything. So the animation is also animated with mouse as well, and mouse alone. So we think this game back then we are kind of proud of it. The visual is good, the animation is good, the gameplay I'm not sure maybe okay and all that. So we think that yeah we can make it because like we've done that before with King's Odyssey. Maybe you can do it with this one as well. But that's not true. Again we fail again. Okay, 12 months, team of 4, and we fail. So but we improve a little bit, like. From 100 plus players, for this game we get about 3,000 plus players. So we fail. So this time it's actually to us is a bit crueler because like we're trying to avoid all the mistakes we have done. And what's wrong with this game? Like, the game looks okay, right? So looking at the trailer and all that. So I will share more when it comes to the business side. So basically this game failed at the part where it's more towards the business sections. So when we decide to work on this game, we just want to make a game. We never consider about target audience, who is going to play it, how to sell it, and all that. We just make the game and we hopefully it sell, but it doesn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So this side doesn't work. So again, as not a particular very smooth experience, you have success, you have failure, and all that, and we learn from that. So learning from that one, we move on to the next title called Tiny Guardians. So this time we're trying to like tell ourselves, okay, so we failed and we need to plan better this time. So with Tiny Guardians, we have the idea where let's calculate it. Maybe we need 6 months. Let's double it because usually we have delay when we work on games. So double it. So we have budget for 1 year. We pitch for grant, work on this game. We think the idea is wonderful. We check with everyone. Try a lot of drawings and we do a lot of testing and everything is fun. And then 1 year later, it's not fun. And there's another story to tell. But before that, let me show you the trailer to let you know what this game is all about. Just a moment. Okay, so this is Tiny Guardian. So we spent 28 months on this game, and the problem is actually we have this idea where we want to make a tower defense games without towers. So it's like a brilliant idea, so cool. The tower defense without towers. And, what's that? So, but the problem is actually sometimes when you plan for something, it might not work out, especially you want to go for a brand new idea. So there's a lot of things that simple decisions like what happened when the main character died and so on. So in the end, we spent about 28 months on this one, and it's actually very, very long journey towards we have the experience where the team totally running out of cash flow, that we have no money at all. And how do we want to stop this game, cut it, and then work on a new title, or do we want to disband the team? Do we want to continue it, find more resources, or find ways to continue just to finish the game and all that? So in our situation, we are slightly lucky in the way that we have King's League that's still selling. So what we do is actually we go back to our publishers, get a bit of advancement. So rather we don't have to, at least we do not have to go to the extent to go to the bank and find money. We get our publishers. So we sacrifice a little bit on rev share on that particular one. We get a few months advance payment and all that. So that we get enough money just to continue and finish working on this game. So working on this game is important in the way that it's not only in the sense that it's crazy. Like I got burned out halfway. There's a lot of things to share just for this particular game alone. But as a person, as a game developers, as a team, and as a game, we actually learn a lot through this process. And I think it's very important when you go through that and you need to publish a game to see what's the result of this, because like if you stop halfway while the game is failed, you just stop there, it's very hard for you to move on next time, because you don't complete something and you always will have the feeling that what if the same thing happened again. But if you complete the whole thing, at least you won't have to have that fear in there. So we are lucky enough that when the game is out, like it's finally good. So no longer like a year ago, after 1 year without it, we play it's not fun at all. We only solved the gameplay problem, I think, about after 2 years, and we finally find a reason why the game is not fun. It's consistent of the reason of animations, being the patient too slow and all that. Sometimes it's not the game itself, can be the animation that causing the problems, can be the slight user interface that causing the problems and so on. So most popular game when we actually showcase and participate in Taipei Game Show, best game in show in Casual Connect Asia. The game is got featured and charted a lot. So again, we started with Cradle Fund. I think it's still around. If you need funding, you can search around for it as well. But it's only funders for the first 12 months. For the remaining 18 months, we actually have to self-fund it to complete the whole game. The team actually grow bigger, 7 people. That's why the operation or the overhead is a lot higher. But I think it's glad that we actually completed and published it as well. It's an award-winning games, and this game actually is an editor choice games as well on both iOS and Google Play. And because of the quality that we managed to pull out during that time, we even got awarded by Google Play as the top developers. But this badge they actually give to the top developers like Supercell and so on, and we're glad that we've been awarded with one as well. Particular reason we're not too sure, but yeah, we're glad that we have it. So that actually helped us to sell more copies as well. So throughout the whole session, Tiny Garden is a paid games, and we go a lot of we have the Android version, iOS version. We even have Steam version this time. So we try to go even more platforms. We have more than 1 million players for this game. The game is profit, so by not a lot, because we spend too much with time working on this game. But at least it's a project that we finally we see some profit. So any of you played this game before?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for playing. So after that, the team actually is quite tired after Tiny Garden. So we have this idea like, it's so tired. Let mix some mini games or smaller games. So at the same time, we're trying to solve a problem that we have been working on premium games. So premium game is not easy to sell on mobile platform. People just like when there's free games and paid game, right? Everyone go for the free one. Who want to buy games, right? So of course, there's some small little people that actually appreciates like the different kind of experience they can get from a premium title. They go for it. But still, as a business, we need to face a problem like, what if one day we don't get featured, we don't get editor's choice and all that? It's like people won't know about this game. So we start to think like maybe we can start to make free games. Because we used to be good at making free games right back in the Flash game time. So we were thinking like, let's make a free game, 6 months only, it's a small one, and then share the universe as in like the same world as King's League Odyssey and Tiny Guardians, cross a bit of characters, so that people when play this game, if they like this game reach out to a lot of people, we can actually convert some of the player into our previous title. So basically this game, the intention of making this game is to promote our game, because we do not want to spend like 100,000 and all that just to do advertisement, because we do not know how to run an efficient ads campaign. But we do know how to make a better game to promote our own game, so we treat this one as an advertisement tools. But 6 months after working on this game, we start to see potential, and maybe we are just greedy like, oh, we're gonna add stuff and add stuff and stuff. So from 6 months, it goes to 18 months. So one tips for you, like game that will always exceed the time. So until today, it still happens. I try very best to control the production time that we have, but sometimes it still will exceed it. So always have backup plan for that. So this is Post Night. It's mobile game only, free to play. It's a portrait mode. So this is one of the inspirations when I go to Tokyo. I see a lot of people when they commute, they only hold the phone in one hand, and they have to take their bags and all that, and they only can play game like this. And I'm like, oh, we are so screwed. Our game has to like play like this. So none of the Japanese can play our games while commuting. They can really sit down and play, which cut down a lot of players, right? So I started to think like, can we actually make a games that play with one hand? So this is one of the inspirations when I travel. So we create this game. If you look at it, the user interface is all at the bottom. So actually everything can be played single hand. So it's quite convenient to play while you're on the go. So we publish it. Again, this time Postline actually become a hit. So we won the Game Prix Awards in the International Mobile Gaming Awards. Selected as the best game in 2007 in Google Play. So it's actually, we have to compete with all the mobile games on Google Play. So in that game, in two categories, we won two categories as best to pick up and play and best indie games in different country. It's also same, we get featured and top chart as well. So, and something that we're very proud of is actually the rating itself. So if you look at a lot of games that with millions of downloads, right, usually rating is very hard to keep up because when you have a lot of players, you're prone to have a lot of problems. So usually the rating could be 4.1, 4.2, 4.5, but for Postlight, we managed to keep it at 4.8 over 5. So it's very, very high, and even when we talk to the platform owners and all that, they're surprised by that as well. But by doing this, it's not because the game just being good. We actually spend a lot of time to talk to the players, solve their problems, optimize it, and all that. So this is more than what we usually do. So we have to grow as a team that rather than just focus on the game, we actually have to support the game as well after that. So because when we make premium games, we only have players like small pool of players. We only get like maybe within 1 week, we only get player writing it with complaints or compliments or bugs reports, and maybe we only get like 5 emails. But with Postlight, right, we actually each day we get about 300 to 500 emails. Like we are like, how are we going to reply all of them, right? So this is something that we are not ready for it because we never make a free-to-play games and that has so many players. So we actually have to change the way that how our team works as well. So you can see along from the start until now, we have to constantly adapt to the kind of game that we're working on as well. So Postlight fully self-funded, 18 months of development, team of 6. So we cut down all of it and completed and published, award-winning editor choice. And up to date, we have about 8 million players. So it's by far on the mobile side have the most players with a very high rating, and the game itself definitely is a profit because with that many dollars alone. So after this one, because right after we finish Postline, we actually directly jump into the new game. We do not know whether this game is success or not. We immediately move to the new game already because the Postline doesn't success at the point that the game is released. The game actually only takes up 3 months after the game, so the first 3 months we spend on fixing problems and all that. When all the things are being addressed and we refining it, then only start to get a lot of organic downloads. So we never run any user acquisition, we never pay for advertisement. So all these players actually organic, where people search, they recommend friends and all that, they come to download the game. So after that, we move on to this game without thinking whether Postlight make it or not. We just move on to this game, and this game actually this time I said like every time when we make games it's always almost 2 years lah. So this time I just let's set a budget of 2 years this time, like rather than being optimistic set 1 year and then in the end we are still tracking like so 2 years should be sufficient. Like yeah, we are good to go. We can spend 1 year and a half to work on this game and maybe 6 months to polish it out. Sounds like a brilliant idea. But this game ended up take 3 years. Like, things happen. Okay, so what is Kingsley? So let me show you the trailer. And this game just out recently, very, very recently. Any of you know what Apple Arcade is? So this game is actually on Apple Arcade. So this game started with we get the fund from MDAC under Mac 3 fund. So back then, so for the first 18 months, and then because of the stretch, we have to sell funds to just make the game on par and able to compete internationally. So after about 2 years time, we actually got the opportunity to work with Apple to actually put it on their this service called Apple Arcade. So this Apple Arcade is a subscription game model for all Apple platforms like iOS, iPadOS, tvOS, and macOS, where you just need to subscribe to this service. You get to play the game inside for free. As in, like you pay for that, not free. Like as in, you pay for that, you get to access to all the game inside the library. And Apple only select 100 company globally, including big company like Konami, Sega, Capcom, and all that. And Kurechii is actually one of it among the 100. So this is something that we're proud of it because we get the opportunity to work with the best. Of course, there's come with a lot of stress and a lot of like live up to the expectations, and so on. So the game only out like now it's October, like it's last month, so of September, just out last week. And currently we are still fixing and improving the games, and there's still more updates coming on. So I call this definitely a success, definitely, because we managed to complete it and publish it. And this time, because we are working with Apple Arcade, we actually released the game on 4 platforms at the same time, like I said, iOS, iPadOS, tvOS, and so we support the controller, which we never did before. So you can play with controller. So we're actually thinking to put the game into Switch as well. So the game is coming, hopefully, if everything's alright, it's next month on Steam as well. So and we actually worked on 15 languages, and this is a hell to work with. 15 languages, including Arabic. So Arabic is totally from the other side, where all user interface had to do in different way. Japanese, Korean, and all that. So all these different, even some languages that we don't even speak and all that. So working on all these different languages seems like easy, right? So one very interesting thing that I overlook is when I work on the promotional videos. Whoa. So like I have to capture about 200 over different footages for different languages, and then put it together, render over 90 over promotional video, because like iPhone need one version, iPadOS need one version, the TV version need another versions, and all that. So and all this is something that is new, and we have to learn from it as well. So when we come to all this, because used to we only have one platforms. When something wrong, we just update the video, render once only. Now something is wrong, we have to re-render all of that. That's a lot of time as well. So we have to change the way how we work as well. So, and yeah, this is what happened for the past 10 years. So from how we started from one person until now, we are a team of 10. And when we move on Kings League 2, we no longer can handle it alone. Like we actually move with localizers, right? Like we work with more than 10 people to just localize the game. So we collaborate with more than 20 plus people than originally just the core team alone. So things change and we adapt. So one thing that you can actually learn from this process that I think that you can relate to or definitely can be helpful to you is actually we never stop making games, and we only make games. So we don't do outsourcing works or servicing job in between. We only focus on making games, because only making games we already can delay for a few years already. Imagine we actually go and take up some more like client works. I think we were never able to publish a game. So even though we have money or we don't have money, we only focus on making games, and fail or not success, we continue making it. We publish all the games we made, because I think it's very, very important, because if you never publish it, you will never like if your game is not good, right, and you never publish it, you will never acknowledge your game is bad. And because if you not acknowledge your game is bad, you won't learn from it. You're just being in denial. So when you put it out, it doesn't sell. You will actually learn a lot faster. Like okay, because sometimes we are very naive. We thought that maybe can now, right? So we always think like maybe can, we will be lucky. Sometimes we have this feeling of it, but they put it out, it doesn't work. That just, and then now you have to look only one path that can go. So it's very important that you have to publish it, whether it's good or bad. You publish it, that's where you learn. And this thing I believe strongly is actually we do not become a better